Me, Janae, read and review a book as opposed to just buying stacks of beautiful edges and letting them pile up on this shelf until I die? That doesn't sound like me. That sounds like someone else. What I believe I'm talking about is the fact that I'm gonna review a book that I read a million years ago. I took the screenshots for it and I just never finished the review. So let's talk about Hood Feminism, Notes from the Woman That a Movement Forgot. Now don't scroll off just because it's nonfiction. Don't. It's very important to me that we talk about this book because do you see that rating? 5 stars. Now, I use my ratings to tell myself and other people something. 4 through 5 stars means read that bitch again, okay? That's what it means. Or if you've never read it, read that bitch. That's why I need to tell you about this. And apparently I finished it in March and we're in a Smith August. So I love that for me. Out to Haven Coble, Queen, I'm so sorry that I'm pretty sure I ruined our buddy read by trying to have us read in 2 different formats. That's my bad. I didn't understand how the whole thing works. Hope that you enjoyed this book because I enjoyed it thoroughly. Now, I listened to the audiobook on Libby, shout out Libby, and obviously I did my review on Storygraph, shout out Storygraph. So at 10%, sometimes I don't really understand my notes, especially months later, but I'm gonna try and capture what I think I was talking about, which was that at 10%, we were talking about intersectionality a lot, and a really interesting concept that she brought up was that people try to talk about like, oh, solidarity, but that's really hard because groups of people have biases against each other. I don't know if that's what she was talking about. This is just my interpretation. So she said, instead of just viewing it as like, oh, we're all perfect and we all get along so well, she was basically saying, view it as a partnership between groups. So a partnership is something that needs to be nourished, it needs to be worked on. It can have conflict and it can have problems. It's for those of us who are privileged not have to deal with transphobia, who are cisgender and need to be supporting our trans brothers and sisters. No, I think it's for men. I think it is for white people to understand where your level of privilege is coming from. So one of the discussions of privilege was talking about hunger and gun violence. Those are 2 things that if you are not in poverty or you're not living in certain areas, you don't think about those things a lot, but actually those are everyday struggles for a lot of people. It kind of is broadening the lens of feminism to say, hey, these are feminist issues. Gun violence is a feminist issue. Hunger, poverty, these are feminist issues. These are things that our movement needs to be addressing. Not just glass stealing, girl boss, like not just the things that the straight cis white women are experiencing. And really that sounds like the whole book. I barely need to go into anything else. It's basically just like, let's look at things that are being experienced by more than just cis straight white women and understand that those things are also feminist issues. Those things also deserve attention. Those things also deserve our collective attention as a group. And we can't look at everything all the time, all at once, but we can be aware of these things. So 30%, it looks like she was talking about rape culture, the stereotypes that support rape culture, and how we as a community can come together to fight that. Understand that what we're fighting for is freedom. 40%, we're talking about how respectability muffles the authentic self and upholds the patriarchy. Yeah, baby. Fuck that shit. 80%, we are talking about the fact, once again, that feminism needs to show up for every fight. That doesn't mean that every single person, every single feminist can be at every fight all at once, but us as a collective, feminists as a collective, womanists as a collective, we can show up to every fight. And I am not including fucking turf ass bitches. Fuck out of here. Get out of here. Nobody invited you, bitch. And then we're talking about how white women uphold white supremacy. Girl, get that checked out. Look at it in yourself. I'm just saying, if you're a white girl, like, white girls need to read this book and really be like, examine that inner self. You feel me? And the main thing that I took away from this book is that allyship has become... There's a lot going on with the term allyship and performative allyship and all of this stuff. And this author was advocating for us to change the way we think of allyship from like, I'm over here on the side, but I support you, to, girl, we are accomplices. I'm in the mud with you. I'm in the paint with you. If there's mud on your face, there's mud on my face. We are in this together. So if somebody's coming for you, they're coming for me. You can't be a performative accomplice. You're in there. Like, that's not possible unless you're a fucking cop, I guess. But you feel me? So the point is, this book is talking about a lot. There's a lot of discussions going on. There's a lot of everything happening, but there are so many important topics that need to be discussed that I think that a lot of us really need to be thinking about and getting into. I actually bought a physical copy of this book, and it's somewhere here. I bought it so that I can go back through it and highlight things and read this book. Read this book if you experience privilege. She does touch on, privilege of able-bodied individuals, but she is an able-bodied individual. She, talks about allyship and being an accomplice to the disabled community. However, I don't think it goes in as deep as it could on that, because she's not a part of the disabled community, and I think doesn't want to speak for them. So yeah. Now, if you're one of those super feminists that knows everything and has read so many books, maybe this won't be for you, because maybe you've read 1,000 textbooks and this is very low level to you. Maybe this is 101. But if you're like me and you're a feminist, a womanist, but you don't be reading a ton of literature, this was really great, important, filling, nourishing reading.